people on earth. The oppressors and the oppressed. And in between are the cowards and the hypocrites. Which are you?
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians need now is not about the taunting. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on-the-spot news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
Every day our lives are changed by history.
We are one people, all of us.
Leaders, politics.
Nobody's ambition is what they blood.
I have fought very firmly.
Natural occurrence, war, and the world economy.
I belong to everybody and I belong to nobody.
ATN covers it all on ATN Politics today.
People into the country illegally. That is amazing.
Honorable
you human
on the point of order.
Honorable they are not picking our calls. They made up their minds.
So no agreement with the EU, but
Representing people. Mr. President, my people are under siege.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
To condemn this act and call for immediate release of this minister in the Temple of God.
Give us access to our money we put in the bank.
POS operator, she said 3,000 naira is 1,000 to collect 3,000 naira. Where are we heading to?
I've always said there are two sets of people on earth, the oppressors and the oppressed. And in between are the cowards and the hypocrites. Which are you?
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians need now is not about the Tonte. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
Representing people. Mr. President, my people are under siege.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
To condemn this act and call for immediate release of this minister in the Temple of God.
Give us access to our money we put in the bank.
POS operator, she said 3,000 naira is 1,000 to collect 3,000 naira. Where are we heading to?
I've always said there are two sets of people on earth, the oppressors and the oppressed. And in between are the cowards and the hypocrites. Which are you?
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians need now is not about the Tonte. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
Representing people. Mr. President, my people are under siege.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
To condemn this act and call for immediate release of this minister in the Temple of God.
Give us access to our money we put in the bank.
POS operator, she said 3,000 naira is 1,000 to collect 3,000 naira. Where are we heading to?
I've always said there are two sets of people on earth, the oppressors and the oppressed. And in between are the cowards and the hypocrites. Which are you?
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians need now is not about the Tonte. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
Representing people. Mr. President, my people are under siege.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
To condemn this act and call for immediate release of this minister in the Temple of God.
Give us access to our money we put in the bank.
POS operator, she said 3,000 naira is 1,000 to collect 3,000 naira. Where are we heading?
Welcome back. With me on the show this morning is Mr. Daniel Momo. Mr. Daniel Momo is a political analyst. It's a pleasure to have you on the show today.
Thank you for having me.
All right. And on to the story. A former chief whip of the Rivers State House of Assembly, Evans BP, has alleged that the outcome of the 2023 general election was manipulated under the watch of the then governor of the state, Nyesom Wike. BP made the allegation in Port Harcourt, the Rivers State capital, while speaking at a solidarity rally for the state governor organized by women groups across the 23 local government areas. He specifically alleged that the Labour Party won all their elections in the state. Recall that Wike, who has been at loggerheads with his immediate successor, Governor Similaye Fubara, recently claimed that nobody would challenge him and his allies in the next general election. The former governor was apparently assuring his supporters that Fubara would be evicted from the government house in the next governorship election. Reacting, BP, who represented Fubara at the rally, said with the level of mobilization by the women, Fubara would win convincingly in any election. He further alleged that Wike and his allies did not win any state in the 2023 elections. He said, "It is written in Exodus 14 verse 13 that the Egyptians you see today, you shall see them no more." Last week, they went to a Thanksgiving party and bragged that the wish tomorrow was 2027. With you, can they win 2027? They are bragging about 2027 as if they won in 2023. The Labour Party won all their elections. We know how we did it. Chijoke told us that he was one of those who assisted them. We also wish that tomorrow is 2027 so they can see our performance. Now, a lot of back and forth, Mr. David, Mr. Daniel, a lot of back and forth between APC and PDP, in Rivers State, occasioned by the crisis or the feud between the governor Governor Simlaye Fubara and the FCT minister Yeson Wike. Now, last week, FCT minister came out to say that the structure he has on ground in Rivers State, they are formidable and nobody can win them in 2027. Now, Evans BP has come out now to accuse the FCT minister of rigging elections in favor of the current president, Tinubu, in 2023, and also rigging elections for the governor, Simlaye Fubara, in Rivers State. What is your reaction to this? You are a Rivers man and you participated in the elections, correct?
Yes. First, it's quite revealing. And then the second thing clearly for me is it's an allegation.
Yes.
And the unfortunate thing is that he was on a platform where he had gone to represent the governor, meaning that the same person he has gone to represent didn't win that election. And unfortunately, for me, is the revelation, the depth of the revelation, that what the mandate of some persons has been turned over to another political party. And it's the allegation now, for me, made nonsense of the whole thing INEC just released as a report, narrowing it down to Rivers State, which was given as a free, fair, and credible election in Rivers State. And this revelation is now coming from one of the actors in Rivers State who said that they knew how they rigged that election in favor of the PDP, because the PDP swept virtually all, both from the Senate, both from the House of Representatives, the State House of Assembly, and the governorship. But the APC, that the then governor supported, won that election. And so for me, as an actor here in Rivers State, is to take it back and say, what is going on? What has happened? Can we then look at the election again the second time and say, what exactly went wrong? Again, you know, you would ask, maybe in law they ask that, what is the local standard? To say that the court has gone through the process and actually said the governor won that election. But again, outside of the court, we need to then sit down and ask ourselves some pertinent questions, which is one, what are the processes of this election that a major actor in Rivers State, who we all knew is part and parcel of the PDP, and even the top level at the state level, is alleging that they rigged this election, that the Labour Party won virtually all the election, and that they rigged, and they know how they rigged. And so for me, if I'm a Labour Party person, it is now that we need to come together and begin to ask ourselves some pertinent questions going forward, even though the court has validated all of...
But the Labour Party candidate has already made peace with the state governor and withdrew her suit from the court.
It is beyond the person. There is the party. There is the person.
Because she went on the platform of Labour Party.
See, when we want to solve issues for tomorrow, we need to know what happened today.
Okay.
And revelations like this are good for us to know that this is what happened and this is how we move. Individuals can decamp. Individuals can go to it. But the political party must sit down and begin to revalidate or evaluate its own evidences and the processes from each polling booth. If there was tangible, something tangible to say, this is how we lost the election. But for me, it is revealing, it is surprising, and it makes me feel that in a democratic process, is this how we want to practice democracy? In this sub-national called Rivers State. And we must, for me, it is a question that we must ask ourselves. Now, two, is that, you see, in all of this, don't be surprised that everyone is trying to claim power to his side, popularity to his side, and in other words, trying to demystify the other side. The governor, like you said, has said, oh, they wish that today is 2027.
The FCT minister.
Yes, that they would have warned. This other person's statement can also be put to say they are trying to demystify, reduces what the then governor has said, that they wish that today is 2027, that with all their structures they would have won. And remember that I think about almost about 3 weeks ago now, the same Evans BP made the allegation that they were the person that was under Governor Wike. I mean, the then Governor Wike.
The FCT minister.
Yes, they were the persons. And so if they are no longer with him, how would it win? So in all of this, is just a tussle. And the advice I would give from somebody who is outside of all of the players is to say, the only thing that would guarantee you a second term, speaking to the governor, is to say you have to put your boot on the ground and walk. It is what you do that we see to say that no, the man deserves a second term. It is too early for me. And the governor should know that don't be drawn to politics now. It will swallow you. You need to put things on ground, including putting soldiers. What we refer to as soldiers means boots on ground. Your people must be on ground. Things must be on ground. What they do, see, in politics, all of the strategy is that try as much as possible to deflate the other person, make him not focus on what he's supposed to do, because in 4 years you only have two years to work. The other 2 years is for campaign. And so the governor must know and not be drawn into all of these battles of we wish that tomorrow is 2027, oh, we rig the election. Leave all of these things. Face the Rivers people. You have the mandate for 4 years. Face the river people. Let them see what you can do. Revive the agriculture. Revive the youth things that will do. In all of this, that is what will guarantee you a second term. Whether one person owns River State, whether another person owns, it's immaterial. When the time comes, the people would see the tangible things on ground to say they want to vote.
Now, well, when you talk about the people and voting the governor into power, now from the confessions of Chijioke Ihunwo not too long ago, and now followed by the confessions of Evans BP on how elections were rigged to the favor of the PDP in Rivers State, do you think the votes of the people actually counts? Because from the confessions of Evans BP, people voted massively for a particular party, and that is neither APC nor PDP. They voted massively for a Labour Party.
According to the allegations.
According to the allegations. So now, when you look at the allegations now and the mandate of the people, do you think it counts in elections?
It's difficult to say. I voted, and I would not want to say on here the party I voted for, but I voted. And you must understand that we have several hundreds of polling booths. According to their own allegation, how many polling booths were they able to influence? Was my polling booth influenced? I doubt it, because what was declared is still what was on the IRF. And so that's why I'm saying that don't be too drawn into some of these allegations. Let's leave them at the realm of allegation. But I think that at this stage, some of these confessions, I would have expected that probably the Department of the State Security Services, the DSS, the police, would have stepped in and invite these guys.
Do they have the will to do that?
It's not about will. That is what the Constitution guaranteed them to do. They should be invited.
Is it what is obtainable?
Look, they should be invited. You see, when when there's an allegation that, oh, I caused so thing, I did this, the simple thing to do is the security agents to have invited you to substantiate your allegations. They arrest you. It's not arrest you to make those allegations so that the public can know. But at this stage, it is still in the realm of allegations. But I would have advised the police, the DSS, to arrest and say you have made this allegation publicly in a gathering of hundreds of persons. You have made these allegations. Come and substantiate these allegations. How you rigged an election from one political party to another. It's a simple thing to do. So it is not whether they can do it or not. It's not whether they have the... That is what they are required to do. If I made an allegation today that I killed somebody, I mentioned the name of that person, what the police doing there is to invite me and substantiate that allegations that I have made. And from there they do their investigations. But to now leave it in the realm of allegations and just let it be and just let it die down, it will not go well for us moving forward. And knowing that the things that happen in Rivers State, whether truly the Labour Party won that election
or not. All right.
But the police can step in at this time.
All right. Now, in face of governance and the hunger crisis, the state of the country, insecurity, economic crisis going on, is this necessary at this point in time? The back and forth, and we just finished an election cycle and governance should be in full swing, but it appears that already political parties in Rivers State particularly, they are already preparing for 2027. What does it have to say about the political...
No, you see, politicians think about the next election.
Okay.
All of this back and forth that you see, it's about 2027. It is not about how Rivers would get better. And unfortunately, politics dictates governance. It is when you have power that you can govern. And all of this, we wish that today is 2027, it's just to bring the governor into all of this crisis. And like I said before, let the governor not be swallowed by this today, this weekend, the ex-governor is here and all of that. No, focus. Leave this issue. This issue of, I have the red pen. I saw him in a church. He's still... That is not the issue. What are the policies that is coming out from the state government that the people that would impact the people? The last time, I think it was in December, where the governor gave all civil servants, maintain such tempo, gave all civil servants, I think 100,000. Maintain such tempos. Go ahead with work. It is what will dictate 2027. All of this is to stop you. And that's why, don't be swallowed, don't be moved. You have the mandate now. The court has guaranteed that. The court has made that possible for you. The Supreme Court has said it. And so, start working. Let the Rivers people see you. The only way they see you is by what you do. Today, even jokingly, we can say, Wike was the governor of flyovers, because we can see the flyovers. In this sense, we can see them. So start working, start putting your foot on the ground. Make the people know that you are the governor of this state. Every week, someone will come and say, no, he just want to swallow you. Leave that. Let your boys talk to him. Let your boys be, but face the governance of Rivers State. That is what would guarantee you 2027. Right. But for now, if you face this, it's just politics. And unfortunately, politicians think about the next election. And all of these that you see, the gatherings, the goal, is just for 2027. As simple as that.
All right. We'll take a short break. When we come back, we'll look at Rivers State court grants substituted service on assemblymen. Don't go away.
I've always said,
representing people. Mr. President, my people are under siege.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
To condemn this act, I call for immediate release of this minister in the Temple of God.
Give us access to our money. POS operator, she said 3,000 is 1,000 to collect 3,000 naira. Where are we heading to?
I've always said there are two sets of people on earth, the oppressors and the oppressed. And in between are the cowards and the hypocrites, which are you.
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians need now is not about the Tonte. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring all sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
Every day, our lives are changed by history.
We are one people, all of us.
Leaders, politics.
Nobody's ambition is what's the blood.
I have fought very firmly.
Natural occurrence, war, and the world economy.
I belong to everybody, and I belong to nobody.
ATN covers it all on ATN Politics today.
People into the country illegally. That is amazing.
Honorables,
you human
They are not picking our calls. They made up their minds.
So no agreement with the EU, but
representing people. Mr. President, my people are under siege.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
To condemn this act and call for the immediate release of this minister in the Temple of God.
Give us access to our money we put in the bank. POS operator, she said 3,000 naira is 1,000 to collect 3,000 naira. Where are we heading to?
I've always said there are two sets of people on earth, the oppressors and the oppressed. And in between are the cowards and the hypocrites. Which are you?
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians need now is not about the Tonte. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
Welcome back. I have another guest joining us on the show today. His name is Barrister Joel Didi. Barrister Joel Didi is a legal practitioner and a political analyst. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Barrister Joel. It's a pleasure.
Thanks for having me.
And on to the story. In a significant legal development, a court of appeal in Rivers State has acceded to the prayers of the Rivers Elders and Leaders Forum. They sought alternative means to serve court procedures to the Speaker of the Rivers State House of Assembly, Martins Amehule, who stands as a defendant in a case challenging the legality of 25 members of the Rivers State House of Assembly and himself after decamping from the People's Democratic Party, under which they were elected in the 2023 elections. This decision comes after an ex parte order was initially dismissed and a case struck out by a state high court in Port Harcourt was granted during the first hearing of the case, alongside a motion for accelerated hearing. The lead counsel to the appellant speaking to journalists after the court session emphasized the necessity of the motion, citing an alleged refusal by Martin Amehule to allow court bailiffs to serve court summons. The court has adjourned further hearing of the case to the 8th of April 2024, marking a pivotal moment in the legal battle surrounding the status of the decamped members of the Rivers State House of Assembly. Now, Barrister Joel, the argument has been ongoing for a long time about the legality of the 17 State House of Assembly members who are currently in the State House of Assembly. A part of a school of thought says because they have vacated without the right constitutional backing, it means that their seats they have vacated their seats. And another state says, another school of thought is of the opinion that they cited problems in the political party, which was what the Constitution cites. And it has been a back and forth argument. What is your take? You are a legal practitioner. Can you share more insights into this matter?
Thank you. My position on the 25, I think 25, not 17.
Yes, the
25.
20,
is it 25 or 24?
27 vacated, one is deceased.
One is late, so 26. Yes. There were 27, one deceased.
Yes, 26 lawmakers.
Yeah, my position has been clear on that matter. And if you look at it from the ambits of law, you cannot be sponsored. They didn't get to the assembly as independent candidates and now want to join a political party. It would have been a different issue. But they came into the assembly sponsored by a political party. And the party was voted alongside the candidate. They were mere candidates of that party. That seat belongs to the party. So you cannot vacate the seat, and you cannot change the party and not vacate the seat. So it's a question of indignity. If you want to cite, there's a provision where you can do that, where there is crisis in the party. But clearly, in the party in the states, there have not been any visible crisis in the party.
You created a crisis.
There have never been any such. Even when people try to create such crisis, it never existed. It never existed. I think the governor and those who are in minority, who have been struggling to keep the peace, would have been the people who would have cited a crisis in the party, not the aggressors themselves. So, but the matter is before the Court of Appeal, which I think have started very well by correcting the wrongs and anomalies of the instant court that dismissed the application. So it is for, the ball is clear, and the legal tussle is quite clear for the courts and for the parties before it. Justify the situations that led to your changing of party for the 26 lawmakers, and then tell us why the clear position of the Constitution should not be adhered to, and why you still need to hold on to that seat. That is the position. So until that is done, I think the legality of that House of Assembly is questionable, is doubtful, and is not a regular House of Assembly.
But then, Mr. Daniel, Martin Samehule has come out severally to make calls that the governor is not fully following the Peace Pact, and he has alleged that the governor has not recognized them as the legitimate House of Assembly. Now, he also cited the appropriation bill, passing of the appropriation bill into law, and he was saying that why would you present it to 4 members of the Assembly? That's not a quorum, right? So these are the issues stemming from, you know, this crisis in the State House of Assembly. Can you throw more light? What's your opinion on the whole drama going on?
First, I don't think he's in a position to determine whether the governor is following the Peace Pact. According to the Peace Pact, every party has its own. You're not going to now define to say the governor is not. Because I think the governor's hand is tied regarding representing, you know, part of what we saw in the media that they were supposed to represent the budget.
The budget, yes.
But some persons had gone to court to challenge that. And unfortunately, the governor cannot do that. As at the time the governor presented that budget to the State House of Assembly, I would not want to say 4. As at the time the governor presented the budget to the State House of Assembly, there was an ex parte order from the court recognizing the other man who has left, who has resigned and gone to become, I think, the chief of staff to the governor. There was a court order recognizing him. And it was at that time that the governor presented the budget to the Rivers State House of Assembly. Now, having said that, let me say this. If I'm wrong, the lawyer is here, he can correct. The suit challenging the campees from the PDP, I think is going to have a problem. My opinion first.
Okay. Why do you say so?
The people challenging it, do they have that local standard to challenge it? They call themselves the Rivers Elders. The PDP is the one who has. If you say as a Rivers Elder, what is the qualification as a Rivers Elder? What is the qualification to say the youth will come up tomorrow? The women can come up tomorrow with one name to say they will challenge. Who has the right to challenge the campees? Is it the Rivers Elders, the ones who call themselves the Rivers Elders, that has the right to challenge? Why is the PDP not doing that? I think by now the PDP should be in the front, Bona, challenging the fact that these guys are not supposed to hold us. Why are they allowing, is it Chief Sarah Igbe now, and others who call themselves the Rivers Elders? Do they have the local standard to challenge the campees?
Talking of local standard, weren't they voted?
The PDP, the logo on that, Amechi versus this man, the logo on the ballot did not bear any name. It bears the PDP. It's the PDP that was there. So the PDP owns that. So if you are decamping, leave the seat for the PDP. But who is challenging? That is my problem.
Barrister, this comes back to you. Do they have the standing to challenge the defection of the State House of Assembly members, the Elders Forum now? Do they have the local standing? Because that's the concern he's raising. He's saying that the people who raise the suits do not have the local standing to do that. So it might not fly.
While I appreciate the argument and position of my friend and co-guest in the studio here, I differ with him on the aspect of local standing. First, without diving much into the nomenclature of the parties before the court, that is quote and unquote Rivers Elders. A lot of them are members. I know a lot of them. Chief Sarah Igwe is a staunch member of the People's Democratic Party. They are members of the PDP. They are Rivers, they are eminent and prominent Rivers sons, and they are challenging the eligibility of people to sit in the Rivers State House of Assembly. So the underlining word here is Rivers State. definitely a party, for a river citizen, you have a civic responsibility to vote at an election. You do not have control.
But you know it was a secret ballot.
I do know. What I mean is, you do not have control of the outcome of that election. So once that election outcome is released, whichever party won that seat is representing that state and that institution for Rivers State. So locus has to do with, are you a Rivers resident or Rivers indigent? That is where the locus is. So for me, they have locus. They have the competence to maintain and sustain that action. So that is my position.
Okay. Now, looking at the whole scenario, how has it affected governance in Rivers State?
A lot. A lot. I'm telling you a lot. Ordinarily, the Rivers State House of Assembly ought to be working hand in gloves with the executive to try. Now, look at what is happening. Fuel today is about 800 and something naira. Things in the market. Look at Lagos State. Lagos State created what they call a market hub. So all of these are policies in synergy with the State House of Assembly. What do you have? You hardly see a State House of Assembly who agrees today with the governor. They do not agree. The other time they threatened to veto a particular bill to maintain their funding. The governor has not signed it. They threatened that they will veto it. So a lot is happening. That today the legislature is not working with the executive. And the executive, unfortunately, it's a bit tied to all of this. That's why I was telling you the other time that let the governor not be consuming all of this. It's politics. It's politics. It doesn't matter, for me, speaking to the executive, it doesn't matter where these guys have decamped to. Call everybody together. You are the first man in the state. Call everybody together. This is what they want. This is what you want. So that you can move. I tell you, it is just a span of 2 years. After 2 years now, politics starts. And so he must, as a matter of urgency, gather what he needs, send to the State House of Assembly. What they need their, because they said for some time he has not paid or something, that the allowance has been held. Release the allowances.
Probably pending when the court determines whether they are qualified to remain.
No, but as at today, they are still the.
Are they recognized?
Who is not recognized?
From
what I know, I am aware that all the allowances have been paid. Has been released, right? Yes. Okay. The governor did that early December. No, but there was a time they threatened to veto. No, that's a different thing. That's a bill seeking for financial autonomy for the Rivers State House of Assembly. That has not been there. And the manner and style in which it was presented under this period of acrimony, within so few days it was done and forwarded, became quite suspicious in such a manner that any right-thinking man, which the governor is, would be critical of. And the governor felt, well, I need to take some time to look at this. Why now? For 8 years, the House of Assembly have been there. Most of them are returning members. Why did it become very urgent and expedient that you should have? Remember, even when they did from the National House of Assembly, from the National Assembly, to amend the Constitution, go and check. Rivers State voted against the autonomy. Rivers State House of Assembly voted against the autonomy. Yes, to change the Constitution. They voted against it. You can Google it and see. So the question then was, why now? Why because there was crisis. And I said, see, let the governor, Buhari did it when, I think it was during the Saraki era, when certain things were sent to him. He refused. He said he's still going through it, that he cannot sign it now. And they threatened that they were going to veto it. The governor, my stand is that the governor must take a stand. He must be visible. No, you are the #1 person in the state. You must take a stand. You must be visible. I tell you, if this crisis was under the former governor, I'm telling you, maybe most of these State House of Assembly members, their house CEOs, CFOs, would have been revoked. We know these things. And so Don't be like that person they push. No. Come out and do what you need to do as a governor. But this style of always is going to affect him. I'm telling you, it's going to affect him. Check out this weekend what will happen. Next weekend, just check what will happen. They will still come, make statements. This is just to get him off track. And he must know that he has certain things to deliver to the Rivers people. And it's just within 2 years. After 2 years, politics starts.
Okay. All right, on to Benue State. The immediate past governor of Benue State, Samuel Otom, has refuted reports of his defection to the All Progressive Congress. Speaking at the expanded executive meeting of the People's Democratic Party on Monday, Otom said he's still a member of the party. According to Otom, the rumors that I am decamping to APC, I am not going anywhere. This one, they are calling me the leader of the party in the state, which comes with a lot of responsibilities. I will not leave it for anybody. APC has not invited me to join. I am not a busybody who will be moving from one place to another. I am a committed party man. We must respect the party at all times. Let us strategize to return to power. Now is the time to plan. We must plan ahead of them as they did in 2023. Otom also dismissed claims of having friction with former Governor Gabriel Soswam and Senator Abamoro. PDP is the only party that is strong and receptive to the yearnings of the people. With our new commitments, we will make the party more vibrant for tomorrow. We shall succeed in the future elections. I do not have any friction with Moro and Soswam, he added. Now, this is Otom talking, but there was an underlining statement. He said APC has not invited me to join yet. Now, with the recent cross-carpeting from the mass defections from PDP to APC for NMPP and Labour Party to APC right now is a trending thing in the political ecosystem in Nigeria. Now, Governor Tom coming out to say APC has not invited me yet. Is he actually waiting for invitation? Because these are underlying comments that, you know, some people might look at and it might be a pointer to some other things. But then what do you think, Barrister Didi?
These are politicians, and a politician is an author of his diction. Invitation by APC, as anticipated by Governor Otom, involves a lot of things. Going by his status as a former governor and the leader of the party, there are a few things, there are a few nitty-gritties that have to be met for him to cross-carpet to APC. And if those are not addressed and met, the man remains where he is. That's what he's saying. He has spoken audibly to the people he's talking to, yes, to the hearing of APC. That might be difficult for the general public to. It's not a matter of extending a mere invitation to him, because I know he was a strong member of the G5 and has a very strong romance with the APC, at least at the center. So if he wants to be invited, and if APC wants to invite him, they have heard him, and they should move in terms with his specifics so he can work with them. Otherwise, Otom would rather prefer to walk ahead of the party to rescue power from APC in the state, that's Benue State, back to the PDP.
Well, do you sense any underlying message in what Otom has said, or you strictly believe literally in what he says, that he's not decamping to APC?
Maybe probably he needs...
Is it an underlying clarion call to APC that...
No, maybe probably he needs an official invitation. Remember when they came to Rivers State during the ex-governor did here? What was their pledge? The G5. And who is the leader of the G5? He's ex-governor Wike. Their pledge was that they are going to support Tinubu for 2027. They made that statement here in Rivers State. That is one. Two, in Benue State, the godfather in Benue have fallen out with the governor, the current secretary to the Federation, in person of, what's his name now?
Gabriel Suswan.
No. The first governor, what's his name now?
George Akume.
George Akume. They are falling out completely with Reverend Father. Yes, they are falling out completely. And it's a real battle in Benue State. And so you should also know that the governor, the current governor, is also looking for people who will back him up, who will stay with him. And then some part of the invitations were to get ex-governor Otun to come back to the APC. And so all of these things, like I said, and you said the other time, is for those who would take that steps and invite him officially. You know, the politicians love this value they give in an open ceremony to say we officially invite you to. But I suspect, you know, like the ex-governor here, he won't tell you whether he has left the PDP or he's joining the APC. But we know that he works for the APC-led federal government. And so the G5, I doubt if the G5 would deviate from that. They would want to be with Governor Wike and move along with him. And so if those in Benue State hear him clearly, I think an invitation should be given to him. They would invite him. No, you see, for someone to tell you
think
I have not been invited. See,
because in all that statement, that was a clear one.
What Fayose said on her, said, I cannot. This is not I cannot. Fayose said, I am not a member of the APC. I would not join the APC. I cannot join the APC. This is not. This is telling you that I have not been invited. So your rumor, yes, there's a possibility. That's why I'm saying those who are listening, who understand those political statements,
the body language,
can officially go and make that arrangement and welcome him back. Remember, he was first in the PDP. He left the PDP, came to the APC, won the governorship, went back to the PDP, and won his second term. And so, with the politics in Benue State currently, I think the governor, the Reverend Father, needed needed people around him. Because there was a time there was this viral video that went, this video that went viral. One of the House of Representative member who got to his office and removed the picture of the governor and said it's no longer their leader, said that they recognize George Akume, that he's been rude to George Akume. And they said, no, they're no longer together. So there is a crisis in Benue, even though it is not as loud as what we have here in Rivers State. There's a crisis in Benue State.
Okay. All right, we have our reporters on ground at the venue of the planned protest by Nigerian Labour Congress and Trade Union Congress. So we'll be bringing live reports from the venue of the protest. That's the NLC chairman. Welcome back. So this is a live protest, the planned protest by Nigerian Labour Congress, also joined by Trade Union Congress, going on in practically all the states of the Federation. So we are covering Rivers State live as the protest is going on. So currently they are marching to the government house to engage the governor and also let the governor know why they are protesting. Anyway, when NLC came out to talk about this protest, they made it clear that this protest has nothing to do with the ultimatum they have given the federal government. It is completely different. Why NLC is protesting currently is because of the hardship. You can read it from the banner we are holding. They are protesting the hardship, they are protesting the rising cost of living, they are protesting hunger in the land, they are protesting the current economic crisis. Now, Barrister Didi, do you think these protests can make any difference? Do not forget that protests have been going on in different states before now. Do you think this being a planned protest by organized labor will make any difference in the country right now?
Well, for me, I think those are the hem of affairs, and those are the saddle of the state will be in a better position to determine whether it will make any impact or not. But one thing that I know for sure is that with the protest that is ongoing, we'll be able to feel the pulse of Rivers people and those who are residents of the state. Because sometimes when mayor advisors or some aid to government try to say, look, this will not go down well, the people are saying this, the people are saying this, sometimes it looks as if a personal opinion is being communicated to authority. But all those in the leadership and at the helms of affairs of the state can clearly feel the pulse of the people and know that there is biting hunger. there is biting hunger, there is scarcity, and a lot of economic misfortunes and woes have come to befall the state. You know, it's a critical time in the history of our state, and that is why we would all urge the governor, His Excellency Sir Siminalayi Fubara, to be on his decks, to see what he can do to turn around the fortunes of the state and to ameliorate the sufferings of the people. He should think outside the box and look at some very innovative ways of touching the lives of the people and trying to bring out certain palliatives. We know that for a state like Rivers, for an upward of over 8 years now, there have not been any economic empowerment programs that can provide loans and other amenities to young people, young Rivers people, to traders, and to boost businesses. And when the state is like that, the simple message is clear that this is purely an allocation receiving state. When you talk about internal revenue drive, you're talking about revenues of ILOs, international oil companies, IOCs, and you know, that's not enough. That's not enough, because the dribbling effect of that on the citizenry is poor. The only benefit you get is in terms of employment, labor mobilization. The contracts and all that is low, because most of these people have their head offices in Lagos, some in Abuja and outside these places, and most of these things are already arranged from Lagos. And the common Rivers man is unable to access and get the benefits of these things. So we need to think outside the box. We need to empower our youths to be able to get off the streets and to know that for every one man that you genuinely uplift, it becomes, you create a structure, a dependable structure for at least another 5 persons. So if you design an economic initiative, an empowerment initiative that is structured and targeted at alleviate 1 to 5, using 1 as a target to 5, you see that in a very short time, within 3 to 6 months, a lot of things can happen. A lot of things can happen that will help our people.
Okay. Now, Mr. Daniel, in face of this economic crisis, when subsidy was announced, when subsidy removal was announced by the President, Bola Tinubu, in the aftermath of that announcement, there was panic, and of course it affected the economy. But however, the federal government has increased FAC allocations to states. So states are receiving double of what they were receiving before. Do not also forget that another 2 billion naira was also given out to states for poverty alleviation programs. Now, let's narrow it down to Rivers State. Would you say that you have seen the impact of the increased FAC allocations and the 2 billion naira for poverty alleviation that was given to Rivers State?
Difficult to say. I have not. That is why when there are crises like this, you see all of these gaps. Like he said something that really touched me, is that Rivers, after Lagos, Kano, the next state you look at in terms of revenue generation should be Rivers State. In fact, Rivers State is more like the headquarters when you talk about South-South. Which happens to be the headquarters of Kwere land, or you go to this thing that is the headquarters of Ogoni, Bori. Today you can't find any yam. You cannot. We solely now depend on yams that come from Kano, yams that come from Benue, yams that come from those days. The only thing in Rivers then that it's not from Rivers State is when you talk about the Ebonyi rice, the rice that come from Ebonyi State. But we have now so degenerated to the extent that if you go to what is this market? Oime, they call it Element Junction.
Yes.
Go and look at what they offload from those trailers. Now, Gary now come from Kano to River State. What is it? River State are not oil the way they look. River State are farmers. The indigenous of River, they are farmers, called farmers.
And fishermen.
Yes. They are not people who work in the rig. They are called farmers. So what is happening? During their Mechi time, there was this Buguma fish destroyed. Go to Ogoni. The Songhai farm destroyed. The plantain plantation done by Amici destroyed. Nothing. If you are going to Akwa Ibom, you will see that by the left and the right. Where are they today? And so for me, this protest is necessary. This protest comes the right time. They should engage, because some of these protests and things like this are ingredients of democracy. They are allowed. We are not in a military dictatorship. It is allowed. Let them engage the governor. Probably, maybe the advisors might not also tell the truth to the governor of the state, that a lot is expected from the man who is the governor of this state. And he should be told that in clear terms. It is not that he doesn't have the capacity, but we need to start seeing that these things can be done. And so for me, this protest, unfortunately, I expect the street to be fuller than this. What I'm seeing there is like purely, people should come out. The inflation is biting harder. If you had had ₦1 million, probably 3 months ago in the bank, the value of that ₦1 million has reduced to probably about 300,000 to 400,000. And so it is clear that they must be told that this we can no longer go forward.
Okay.
The purchasing power has reduced.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Daniel Momo, for being on the show today.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you so much, Barrister Didi, for coming, especially on short notice. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. And this is all we can take on this episode of Open Conversations. Stay connected on all Atlantic Television socials, Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1, and on Twitter, Atlantic TV Net. Watch us live on our website, www.atlanticnetwork.tv. Do not forget, peace and unity are the pathways to progress. Thank you for watching. I am Ogu Laurentia Choma. Bye for now.
Representing people. Mr. President, my people are under siege.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
To condemn this act and call for the immediate release of this minister in the Temple of God.
Give us access to our money we put in the bank. The POS operator, she said 3,000 is 1,000 to collect 3,000 naira. Where are we heading to?
I've always said there are two sets of people on earth, the oppressors and the oppressed. And in between are the cowards and the hypocrites. Which are you?
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians need now is not about the Tonte. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on-the-spot news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries.